Welcome back, Panther fans. I'm David Brown, along with Ryan Graham.
Hey, y'all.
Tim Thurber.
Hello.
And this is State of Atlanta.
I was not really prepared or thinking about that.
Yeah, it's only our 81st episode.
Wait, we drink at the beginning?
What's beer?
Welcome back, guys. So it was a rough night last night. How y'all doing today?
Wait, what happened?
Yeah, what did happen?
Oh, is that how we're going to play it? We're gonna play it like we have no idea what happened?
I was just
We've all
tweeting
just
stuff. I don't know.
obliterated it out of our brains.
Well, yeah, I was, obviously pretty bummed today, but I wanted to start this episode off with some good news for Georgia State over this past week.
Do you have anything?
Yeah. So Wednesday last week, Georgia State baseball completely embarrassed Georgia Tech.
Nice.
A 10-1 win over in Midtown. That's awesome. And Georgia Tech was ranked number 10 at the time. So I have no idea if they're even still ranked at this point. But yes, that's a good one. The pitcher, Georgia State pitcher, Mason Patel, he was named the Sun Belt Player of the Week because of his performance on the field.
Is that a series or was that just a single game? And
it's a single game. It's weird. College baseball is weird because Ryan, like you and I were talking about last night, how baseball's built around series, but then college baseball has a lot of one game. Like actually, I didn't get a chance to check it, but Georgia State's playing Florida in baseball in a one-game series right now. I think Florida is either ranked 1 or 2. They're maybe I can check that at some point during the.
Yeah, that is kind of weird though. I was just gonna say, like, it feels like our team is really good at beating ranked teams. The series that we've had, I think we haven't won any of the series yet, but we're pretty good at knocking them off. At least once.
Exactly. Yeah, this team it's fun to watch. They've not kind of pulled it all together, but they're able to beat these ranked opponents. I think somebody put it on one of the boards that I think at the time we were ranked 4 and 6, that Georgia State must be the best 4 and 6 baseball team. All 4 wins against top 25 teams, all 6 losses against top 25 teams.
Yeah.
So yeah. But not just that, not just baseball, beach volleyball. You got started up. We beat the number 11 team FAU over the weekend. We had a couple of losses, but to number 1 and number 2 LSU and FSU. So that's understandable. But ranked moved up to number 18 in the nation.
How many teams are there now?
I looked it up just for you, Ryan. I put it in my notes because I knew Ryan was going to ask how many teams. I couldn't get a clear answer, but I think at least 64 teams.
Oh man, that's pretty. That sport's been expanding really well. Wow.
Yeah. Because I think the stuff I looked up, it looked like 54 teams last year, and it looked like they added up to 64 teams this year. But I'm not sure about all that. But yeah, so beach volleyball continues.
That's about half of the FBS teams, and so I would say that we need to at least be top 12 for me to care.
For you to care. Well, so if you want to look at it that way, that means that
so we're getting there.
That we would be top 40 in football, which I think at this point,
top 25 in football. That's why
I know what you're saying, but yeah, okay, that doesn't matter. Anyhow,
I already did that math.
Congrats to the ladies on the performance over the weekend. Softball ended their week winning 2 games, scoring 13 runs in both of those games. So that's an impressive performance there. Football spring practice began today, so we have that to look forward to. Football in several months, and as much as we hate the outcome, after this weird of a season, we made it to the basketball championship. Like that did. 3 weeks ago, if you would have said that we would have, lost in the championship game, you'd be like happy just to have made it there and played that long. So so I think all in all. Oh, and then one more thing. On our way to the championship, we were able to hand Bob Marlin an additional loss to Georgia State. So
I'll take it.
Yeah,
and he was very angry at the end of that game. He was very
angry. Actually, Tim, I'll talk about that a little bit later on about your experience down there in Pensacola with those Lafayette fans. But yeah, so as bad as last night was, and it still hurts. It was a good week for Georgia State for a lot of other reasons, and But that being said, basketball.
Woo!
Hoops.
So, yeah. What happened last night? What happened? What was the problem last night? What did it
You don't want to talk about the other games? You want to go backwards from the worst to the...
Let's just talk about we can talk about the whole weekend. You can talk about what good or bad led up to last night? You can talk about what happened last night. Just Tim, I know you got something on deck. Give it to me.
I do. It's a theme throughout all 3 tournament games for us. We kept going on these 3-minute-ish scoring droughts, and not just the last game, but all of them. In the App State game, we went on, starting the second half, we went on a 3-minute and 22-second drought. We scored 2 points at the end of that. We did it again right after that, by the way, starting at 16:25 all the way down to 12:41. So almost 4 minutes, another 2 points. If you add that all up, it's 10 minutes and 17 seconds. Over half of the second half, 6 points scored. You can't win many games that way at all whatsoever.
Yeah,
not to mention our shooting in the second half, I think was sub 30 or it was close to it.
Yeah, it was very, very obvious that we were going on these massive droughts. And I don't know what you would account for that whatsoever at all. But yeah.
Credit to App's defense. They basically gave us fits. They basically shut down Thomas.
That team did not look like a team that had playing their 4th game in as many days, and they came out there and they did not look tired at all. They were quick, they were aggressive, they were going for the ball, and we looked like we came out there just kind of like, all right, this is an exhibition game. We'll go ahead and knock off this lower tier opponent and move on to the next round. I don't know what I mean. I was telling Ryan, because Ryan and I actually got together and watched the game last night. And I was telling him, one of the things I like so much about the Coach Hunter teams was a really aggressive style of play. And we saw a lot of steals and a lot of, just really taking the ball away from the team when they're not paying attention. And I feel like that was happening to us. And not only, and I feel like that's been happening all season long, but not only that, in the game last night, it seemed like we were literally passing the ball to App State several times. I mean, granted, they're kind of getting in there, but they were very, very lazy passes that just didn't look like we were dialed in on what was happening.
We did have a few more turnovers in that game out of the other 2 games. I think they just either we couldn't work the ball inside or they shut it down, but Thomas and Sosame only had 10 points. And in every other matchup, with Lafayette, they had 27 combined, right? And in the first game, Sosame had a double-double. Like, he was in double digits. And I don't remember how many points Thomas had, but it was significant. We were going inside against Ark State. So, I mean, credit to them.
Jalen Thomas was so, just money on that little jumper right there, 10 feet off the basket. He was ineffective.
He missed
over and over.
And we had so many air balls. I feel like there was so many air balls on what is normally just a chip shot for us. And yeah,
there was one that barely hit the front of the rim, or it might not even hit the front of the rim. And I think at that point he was probably rattled. And then at that point he was kind of, I'm not shooting. I don't want to shoot.
We couldn't actually see how close it was to the rim because the captions were in the way. It was right where the basket should be is right where the captions were. So it was we could tell it was an air ball, but
Yeah, I was actually going to say that. I didn't know if you're going to be Ryan. Yeah, the closed caption was up there right at the basket. And so sometimes it'd miss. And we're like, well, you weren't even sure if it actually missed. It based off of how the players reacted. You'd know what happened. But yeah, it was. But yeah, there's some air balls that just looked. We looked like the team that was tired.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So, I mean, they said they weren't tired, but I don't know. I rewatched a little bit of the game coming home today. And
why would you say you're not tired? Say you're tired. If you lose a championship game,
we were tired.
I went out there and I gave it my best and they beat us. Make up some excuses. Say, man, I don't know.
Probably have COVID.
I was tired, dude.
I probably have COVID.
Exactly. I still have COVID. I need my second shot.
I will say that despite it being a pretty bad loss, I wasn't excited about how many points we scored and things like that. But it was it was the type of basketball game that I actually really like watching. And if they were all more like that, I would probably watch more. But they were very physical. Everybody was kind of really getting into it. There wasn't a lot of time where people were just standing around dribbling a ball, not doing much of anything. Everyone was sort of always in their face. And on top of that, the refs were letting it happen. They sort of
all weekend.
They just kind of
Well,
let
no,
people
not that
play,
first
and it was
game.
great. I loved
That
it.
first game, they were calling everything. The Arc State game, I felt like they were calling everything. But last night was and even Lafayette was way different. I feel like they were definitely letting things play out a little bit more. Hell, I mean, how many tackles did we see last night in the game? There was some physical, like hockey style play going on.
Well, the ULL game, they wow, what did I do that for? That Lafayette game, the announcer, the color commentator was really terrible and was talking about how we tackled some guy, and I was like, we barely touched him. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. But then, like, last night we like ankle tackled some dude. I was like, that was a friggin' tackle.
Yeah, what were you saying, Tim?
No, I mean, I think they were just tougher than us. I think they were a little bit more physical than we were. We were tired. We made foolish mistakes that we weren't making at least as much in the prior game. Maybe Lafayette took a lot out of us. I don't know. But, I mean, I did like the fight in the team. They didn't give up. I mean, they were up, like, App was up 14 with 4:43 left, and we went on a 14-4 run to close it to the 4 points at 104. I mean, we had a chance. We just needed like 2 to 3 more minutes.
Yeah, so Tim, that's what we were talking about a little bit before we went on. Was I'm really not too quick about calling a game, no matter how big the score is. Either whether or not my team is winning or losing at that point. But at that 14 points with 4 minutes to go, I was telling Ryan that this game is over. Like we have lost this game. And I go to the bathroom, come back, drinking my beer, and all of a sudden, a minute to go, it's 4 points. 4 points in 1 minute is very, very manageable. And it's like the team just turned something on there for a minute. And I'm like, all right, we're in this, we can win it. And as I was telling you, that's just what Atlanta teams do. Once you give up every last ounce of hope, they just pour a little bit more in the coffee right there, and you drink it in. And they just snatch it away and say, "No, just kidding. We're not going to be that good. We're gonna lose this game for you."
Yeah, I think we said the game was over like 4 times in the last couple minutes.
So there was some pretty. It took me a long time to hit up Panther Talk today to kind of look at what was being said about the game. Part of that was because I was actually really busy at work today, but another part was any spare time I had, I was like, I don't want to go through that message board and read everything, but I finally made it through there. There's some pretty heated posts, a lot of maybe in the moment type reactionary type post. But are you really are you really up in arms? But I mean, is this really, really bad for Georgia State? Is this like some people were comparing it? This is a worse loss than the 2014 loss to Lafayette. What do you?
I think we had the easiest path to winning once we got past Lafayette. 2 nights ago. But, App was playing out of their mind. I mean, what was his name? The one guard, Almonacci, 32 points. I mean, you just need to figure out how to shut him down, double him. I don't care.
Right.
Make someone else beat you. I do understand the frustration on Panther Talk. I mean, you let one player score 32 points. And he was hitting everything.
Yeah.
I mean, off the dribble threes, like it was nothing.
Sometimes guys are on. I mean, but you got to be able to find a way to stop everybody else. One guy's not really can't win the game for you. But so like one thing that I think a lot of people were talking about was, so we all know there's a difference between the energy of Coach Hunter and Coach Lanier. I mean, they are polar opposites just from a personality standpoint. No one is better than another for a person to be. Lanier is way more laid back. Coach Hunter is a personality. He's larger than life. And I feel like that the teams kind of mimic their coaches a little bit. I think it's what some of that everybody else was saying was it did not seem like we were playing with an intense team here at the end of the season under Lanier. And they're comparing it to Coach Hunter's teams that did a lot of those steals and grabs and takeaways, everything. But then I think about, I said this on here last season and the beginning of this season, the very first games of the season under Coach Lanier, my question was, can the guys keep up the intensity of play? They really started very, very hard last year and this year, and then we had all of our crap. But I don't know what happened. Maybe it's COVID. Maybe it's the missed games. Maybe just this year was just whack or whatever. But I'm not I'm not thinking that Lanier is the problem here. I think he's a great coach.
No,
I think we're good here. I think anybody that's like calling for his head or saying that
no, that's ridiculous.
He can't.
That's crazy.
He can't coach intensity. I think we've seen that. We've seen that at the beginning of the seasons, and maybe it is a problem with keeping that throughout the gas down all season long. But yeah, I think I don't think this is as bad as 2014's loss. I think this was unfortunate.
I think you also you just look at, we played App State 3 times and we lost 3 times. Maybe it's just a bad matchup. Maybe their style of play just matches up better. We played them 4 times?
And we won once. Yeah.
Ah, crap. All right. Well, still, they clearly had our number throughout, and we I thought I saw somebody say 0-3, and I just trusted them. I didn't look it up.
Yeah, don't trust the internet. It's always
I mean, it still could be a matchup thing. Like, it doesn't actually make my point in like mood or anything like that. Like, maybe they just play a better style of basketball against the style that we play, the type of thing. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't seem like they're better than us, but
Lanier tipped his hat to App State in the post-game presser. He basically said that they checked more boxes than any team in the Sun Belt, even out us, as far as the most complete team NCAA tournament ready. And maybe, I mean, the fun fact that I took with Almonacci, I looked up his stats. His second highest point total of the season was against us.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
When in Atlanta, where they lost, he had 24. So, like, already right there, he's got something, like, he could just go off on against us as a team. And then the other thing I noticed is his career highs were all set last night. Like, points, field goals made, attempts, 3 points made.
That's the kind of stats Atlanta teams make. It's always the stats against us. Never.
We just handed him all of his career highs.
Yeah. So Ryan Reed saying App State's defense reminds him of Coach Hunter's defense. Yeah, I mean,
they're scrappy.
Yeah, I feel like we've seen that with Coach Lanier at the beginning of the season. It's just not maintained all the way through, and maybe it's just something that maybe Hunter was better at coaching it against the Sun Belt play, and Lanier hasn't figured out the Sun Belt play just yet. I don't know. But
some bright spots in the championship game. Johnson with 14 and Boyce with 11 in the championship game. Trying to pick up the slack for the rest of the team that wasn't scoring. I mean, Allen had 9. Like I said, Thomas and Sosa made 10 points combined when the night before they had 27. We had people to kind of replace some of the points, but not enough. And those long stretches of droughts, like if you move those probably backwards 2 to 3 minutes, it would have given the team the time and the space to probably complete the comeback.
Yeah,
potentially. I mean, Kane Williams woke up finally that game towards the end of that second half. He was scoring a lot of the points in that 14-4 run we had to close the gap. But, it was too little too late. That's a tough spot to be in.
Right.
Yeah, you're down 4 with a minute 4 left, but you need App to miss everything at that point.
And
all the free throws, and they weren't. And we weren't stealing it from them either at that point, really.
No.
They stopped making – they were making mistakes during that run, but they stopped making mistakes. They clamped down, kind of what we did to Lafayette the night before, and, they closed it out.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I had to get that in there. I don't know. I want to be bummed out about it, and I am bummed out about it, but – this season was so messed up. And for Georgia State, more so than any other team in the conference, this was just a messed up season with all the cancellations, postponements, not knowing what's going on. Yeah, obviously players were getting COVID, and there's some lasting effects for that throughout the season. So I wanted to see us go to the tournament again. I wanted us to get that Sun Belt championship again. But I think that, after everything is said and done, we should be happy we made it there at this point. I mean,
David, would you say that maybe we just didn't knock off all of the rust?
The team is not quite gelling just
There's
enough.
a little bit of rust left on their
There was a little left over, or is it new rust? Probably not.
Yeah. So Ryan, you actually watched all the games this week. I'm very proud of you. You actually paid for an ESPN Plus subscription.
I thought he game casted 2 of them.
We'll say all, I guess. But
okay.
I watched half of each game up until the last one.
Yeah, well, I will. I'm surprised you didn't bring it up yet, Ryan. But I will take full ownership on our loss, and this is why I'm trying to be upbeat about the team right now. It's my fault. I went out on Friday and went to Wild Heaven over in Avondale Estates, and I picked up some Concrete Jungle beer, which feel like that should be the Georgia State beer. And
Not
so
a sponsor. Not a sponsor.
Not
I
a sponsor.
pledged
We should
myself.
assume trademark, whatever.
I pledged myself, you know what? It's a 4-pack. I'll drink one at tip-off for all 3 of our games, and then one more once we win the championship. So I did that, and we won those first 2 games. And the third game comes around, and I'm like, "Hey Ryan, let's go to a bar and watch this."
Should have brought it.
I did
man.
not pick my Concrete Jungle, so it's all. I'm a superstitious person.
Oh,
It falls on
somebody's
me.
angry.
It's all my fault. I take.
You get a lot of angry reacts on Facebook.
You
A
need to
lot of
bring it
them. They're
with
just
you.
flowing.
You know what the other interesting thing was? Going into the championship game, I think Lenardi had us as a 14 seed. And then after we lost, obviously, to replace us, he's got App as a play-in 16 seed.
Well, yeah, that's another thing. Going into the tournament, when the Texas State was the favorite one, they were a play-in game. So, yeah. Do you actually want to see App State do well? Do you want to see them be successful in the tournament? Do you want them to win a game?
I mean, we wouldn't mind the cash, but they might win the playing game. You know, You're playing a like-minded team. The first game they played, they'll probably get waxed.
Are they also playing the play-in games in Indianapolis, right?
Everything's in Indianapolis, yeah.
Yeah.
Dayton's losing out on their first 4.
I don't care at all if they win or lose or anything. I probably won't pay attention at all. I may do a bracket, I guess, and I'll do the strategy like that usually wins, which is, pick my favorite colors and stuff.
Yeah, I'm going to go back to my tried and true. I don't care about other Sun Belt teams. I hope they fail miserably and they
wait. You just said 2 opposing ideas. You don't care about them, but you hope they lose?
Yeah. I don't care about the Sun Belt as a conference.
Mm-hmm.
This is not where I want us to play. I don't want to be playing App State as a conference game every single year. I want to see them lose because I want the only team to look successful in the Sun Belt to be Georgia State. I see John says they're going to get matched up against Michigan. He'll be a 1 seed. So, yeah.
Yeah,
right. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know if he's saying that's what's going to happen, but that would be, yes, that's the storybook, right? That App State versus Michigan.
Oh, boy. I didn't even think of that. That's awesome.
Luckily, they're not going to be kicking a field goal to win.
You think they don't shut up now about that game? Come on.
We got your number, Michigan.
John, shut your mouth, dude. I don't want to hear that at all.
I will say to Ryan, the fans did contemplate Bobby suck, but we didn't do it.
Oh,
we refrained.
Why? Hunter's not there to chastise you. It's fine, man. And he does suck. So, where's the lie?
And I think the Lafayette fans even agree that he sucks. He's not taking them to the promised land like they expect out of all their teams. So Ryan Reed says, Michael Alman says, I think everyone gets another year.
I'm pretty sure the NCAA said everybody, yeah.
Unfortunately, he can handle us again next year. Maybe. We'll see.
Yeah, but he may move. I mean, hell, with the transfer policy in place, he may go somewhere else.
True. He could get picked up, right?
Yeah. But looking ahead to next year, I mean, we should be really excited about the team next year, right? With Sosami and Jalen Thomas coming back, getting Joe Jones back, getting Nelson Phillips back, being healthy. This team's going to be an exciting. There's no reason why you should not be picking Georgia State to win Sun Belt preseason already.
Right. It'll be interesting to see what happens with the guards because we'll have a lot of them with this COVID extra year thing. I don't know. I like Johnson playing. I mean, Corey Allen was good in stretches. Kane was good in stretches. Kane has these weird droughts where he just can't make anything.
So here's my strategy, though. If we have a lot of guards, that means we got some depth. That means our guards can be very aggressive and just really foul the hell out of the other team really well. Good. And then don't worry, we have someone just as good that's going to come in when this guy is pulled out of the game. It's all right. We're fine.
Yeah.
Is that a strategy? Is that how you do? Is that how you play basketball?
I mean, you could be an aggressive team, and hopefully you play teams that can't shoot free throws. Yes.
Yeah. play ourselves. We can't shoot free throws.
It's too bad they didn't show the crowd at all in the Lafayette GSU game. They were livid. I mean, when we went on our 13-2 run to end the game, curse words were coming out of their mouths. Like they were taunting our small group of fans that were there. Last call, I'll tell you about an incident in the concourse after the game ended with Lafayette fans. I mean, it reminded me of some of the games at Uno where they just lose it. Like,
well, they're living up to what we expect out of Louisiana teams. Like, yeah, you are the most garbage fans in all of sports. They are.
Louisiana is basically just a big swamp, right? The whole state.
Yeah, the whole thing should be underwater. And I don't mean that offensively. I mean that offensively. The whole state should be underwater. Like, right. It shouldn't be there.
I was most impressed with, honestly, through the entire tournament, the way we played Lafayette to let them come back, because we all knew it was coming because we're an Atlanta fan base. And Georgia State basketball is notorious for letting teams who don't belong to come back to get back in the game. I think there was a quote that Lanier said to them when they tied it up at 71 all. He's like, "Can y'all start playing now?" Like,
we're back to zero.
Collected.
That's one thing. That's one of the things I put out on Twitter during the game is like, as an Atlanta team, being up by 15 is the exact same thing as being down by 5. Like we don't feel good about anything ever. It's never. We're down by 15. We're already calling the cab to come home or ordering more shots. One of the two.
I think some of our esteemed
fans. Let's not talk about more shots.
I think some of our esteemed fans posted something around a half, and State of Atlanta did not enjoy that post about being up 19.
Yeah, actually, I have that. Yeah, you did a good job taking over the Twitter account over the weekend. I like that. I have that coming up for us to talk about. But I want next year, with the guys coming back, the games obviously against App are going to be pretty intense. Like, those are the ones when the schedule comes out. I'm going to circle those because that's going to be a game that maybe you want to go up to Boone to watch the game if you can, and definitely not miss the game in the sports arena. And then also sports arena last year for the sports arena.
Yeah.
So
going out here
sounds like a budding rivalry.
And we're playing Tech again. We're playing at McCamish again next year, right? So
are we?
Yeah, I think so. Wasn't it a 2-1? 2 games at McCamish and then 1 game to open up the convocation center.
I think it was, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm excited about this next season. It's a bummer that the season's over for us because there's not going to be any postseason play with NIT or the other crappy tournaments going on.
Are they all canceled?
No, the NIT is only 16 teams, so we're way out of that count. I mean, it would take a miracle. Maybe, well, you know what? Maybe we're the only team that doesn't have COVID right now. So,
yeah, but what if they just do mid-major rankings?
Oh yeah, cute.
Funny.
What did you guys funny. What did you guys think about the first game? I mean, Ryan, I know you watched some part of it.
I watched the last half of it.
Okay,
that's the game. That's the game where we went up like by 100,000 points, and then no, that's the second game. That's a Lafayette game.
The first game we were battling with Arkansas State, like we didn't belong.
Oh yeah.
It was back and forth. We had a 2-point lead going into half. Like, we didn't deserve to win. We were lucky that we clamped down.
I think that game that's a game that a lot of people talk about having these the 2-round buys or the buy right in the semifinal if you're a first place team member. But I think you take too many days off. We saw all season long. We'd have 2 weeks off.
We suck.
Really, we would suck. So, yeah, I kind of credit that at Ryan another time of having to knock the rust off because it's been over a week since we had played or thereabouts. So, yeah, that's kind of what I chalked all that up to. You're right, though, Tim. It was one kind of things. Right, every single game, I was kind of like, I want to win by more. I want it to be more convincing win. And because what we saw at South Alabama, those last couple of games where we're like there was lights out, but that's not what we were seeing.
I think they walked into that game thinking we're the 1 seed. you're not going to beat us. It's not even going to be a contest. And they came to play. I mean, they out-rebounded us, almost 10 extra boards.
We're used to being out-rebounded. That's not a thing for us.
In the other two games, we actually did pretty well rebounding.
I was referring to our previous
years.
We're not good. Down there. Yeah.
I mean, Sosame and Thomas did a good job in the tournament overall. It was literally we turned it on for the last 3 minutes to just hold them scoreless and win by 3. I mean, yeah, that was a heart attack game. So was Lafayette, but not as much because we were able to go on our own little 13-2 run to close things out. And then App for the fans at the arena, it was brutal. I don't know.
Well, so I kind of touch on this for a second. Like, what do you think, Tim? Do we think that a lot of the talk about for the Sun Belt teams are, since we're a one-bid league, that we need to give the best opportunity for our best team to make it in the championship. So if you're going to have a tournament, that 2-round bye, whatever, do you think that that's what we need to do, that the top 2 teams basically have a play-in game for the championship? Do you think that actually works out well for the conference? Because I think if your argument is that, then you're just scared of playing games. I don't mind playing an extra game.
Well, I mean, they were going to protect the top 2 seeds last year, if you remember.
Right.
Like, there's campus sites, and then the top 2 seeds make it to New Orleans automatically for the semis. And it's been that way in years past. Then this year with COVID, they did the East-West because you can't travel because you'll get COVID or something, I think. I don't know why, because you have to –
State lines. Every time you cross a state line, it doubles your chance of catching –
Well, you just get COVID. I don't know if you knew that.
You have to actually get COVID as you go into each state.
Yeah,
right.
But, next year get rid of the division thing. We don't need that.
No, it won't happen again.
I don't, if you want to give the top 2 teams the double bye into the semifinals, fine. I don't know. It'll be curious to see, I think the Sun Belt, not the division concept, but having all the teams there, which we should have another talk about the other location.
I've got that. I've got that in my.
We'll get to it.
My tweet breakdown from Tim Thurber. I've got that to go over.
But I think they might like all the teams. They might opt out of campus sites and then Pensacola. They might say, hey, everyone come to Pensacola. We're doing this way every year. Top 2 teams get the double bye and leave it at that, which we wouldn't have gotten the double bye based on our record. I don't think.
I do think it'd be kind of cool if you do get a double bye in Georgia State. Obviously, would get one of those. Go down there and you booze it up, have a good time, and then just go to the other games and just either cheer for or root against all the other teams, however you want to. Just maybe you root against everybody the same game. You boo every basket. It's
a much more. Well, I don't know what's on your agenda here, but it's a much more accessible arena than Uno was.
Yeah, we can move right. This was my next topic. Yeah. So you were down there. You went down there. You were handling the State of Atlanta Twitter account, doing a great job, in my opinion.
Trying to.
It's pretty entertaining stuff. You definitely riled up some of the other fan base accounts. Maybe riled up some Georgia State admin a little bit. I don't know. But it was a good time. What was that, Tim?
Didn't mean to.
Alcohol is a beautiful thing. It makes true voices fly. So, yeah, what was your take? You've been down to New Orleans. I've never gone to a tournament in New Orleans. You've gone there. You've now been to Pensacola. I wanted to go. What was it like? Even our buddies at Rage and Review, the Lafayette guys, they want to know. What'd you think of Pensacola?
Yes, definitely enjoyed Pensacola. First of all, the arena is walkable to bars, breweries, and restaurants. It's not out by a lake in the middle of nowhere where there's nowhere to go after that other than back to your hotel or back into New Orleans. So I think it was a better location. Now, I know the Sun Belt was trying to do the thing at Smoothie King Center, and that would have been much better. It just never happened, and they already made the deal to move to Pensacola. I would say that, they did their little upgrades in the arena. I mean, it was a decent arena. You know, it kind of resembled Uno Arena a little bit, just a taller Uno Arena. I will say that Pensacola overall put in a lot of money just around like signage, and they had these gigantic basketballs for every single team. They had light posts all up and down Paraflax Street. Was covered in Sunbelt stuff. I mean, you knew the Sunbelt tournament was there. And I'll say, honestly, the local people actually came to the games way more than the people that were in the New Orleans area. I think, you know, we were a small fish in a big pond in New Orleans, and we're a bigger fish in a smaller pond in Pensacola. I think it's the right fit size-wise.
Yeah, I understand why fans want to be in New Orleans. I mean, even though New Orleans is a cesspool that no one should ever go, they should probably like hazmat the entire place off. I understand the desire by a lot of people that have never been there before. It's known as a party city. It's a major city in the United States. You kind of, if you want to legitimize a Sunbelt conference, you don't want to be in Hot Springs, Arkansas. You want to be in a more notorietable kind of
notorietable. I heard it too. I was like, I don't think so, but I was gonna allow it until you start questioning it.
Yeah. You want to be into a city that you can really kind of take pride in. Like the SEC plays their football championship in Atlanta because it's the best city in the country. So right. I get it. But New Orleans is horrible. And Pensacola, I think, kind of plays a little happy medium. Like I would have liked to have seen something maybe in Birmingham or sure. Memphis or Nashville or something like that. But no, I think you make Pensacola work. You know,
they spent the money.
I mean, especially a march in the Panhandle of Florida sounds a lot better than a lot of other places further north than that. So
it wasn't too hot. It wasn't too cold.
And the Panhandle of Florida doesn't often sound good, but it definitely sounds better than a lot of other places north of that around March. So
the other thing they did that I thought was kind of cool, they did two things. One of them we didn't use because we just walked, but they had a trolley that went around to all of the team bars and to the arena, so you could do that. And then the other concept they did is they had every team had its own team bar to go to.
Wait. I want to go back. Wait. There was a trolley that went to all the bars.
All the team bars. Yeah.
I'm in. Yes, this is exactly the type of thing you need. I'm all about the pre-game, post-game thing. You can like have can you carry your booze onto the trolley?
I don't know about that, but
you never try this. This would be the first thing I would ask if I find a trolley.
David, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So
exactly. Come on, Tim. Come on, we expect better than you of that, man.
Well, you just try, David. Try and then have them stop you. You know, I mean, chances are that trolley driver's pretty cool and would let you do it. So
I bet if you bring that trolley driver a beer, he'll probably not care.
I think David, the thing that you're missing is you don't ask questions like that because you don't necessarily want the answer.
Ryan, what you're missing is if I was down there, I'm exactly in your mindset.
Yeah, so I know.
I'm asking the questions to Tim, and I'm trying to figure out why didn't you just carry a beer onto the trolley?
Because honestly, the whole thing was so walkable. You didn't really need the trolley. I mean,
like the streetcar in Atlanta.
No. I mean, yeah, it's not the streetcar in Atlanta. It's a trolley. It's a bus.
You can like see all of them from the entrance of the arena. You just like look over. You're like, there's all the bars, and they're like trolley, ding ding.
Yes. Now
does that include the whatever that Heart Cell Arena? Was that included? Like that the whole walkability and trolley thing? Is that part of? No,
that place was all the way up north by the airport, and I feel bad for every team that had to play in that building. Period.
Yeah, it looked pretty
gymnasium.
There's one thing I want to hear about. This cracked me up the most. The scoreboard.
Which thing?
The scoreboard.
Oh yeah. So, I guess someone tweeted back at State of Atlanta, but it was kind of fun because they either didn't plan to or didn't want to spend the money to cover up Pirates, which was the team that plays there, and Guest. So every game was Pirates versus Guest.
Yeah, because you were there for the women's game. Unfortunately, that didn't go that well. But so it was basically the Georgia State Pirates versus the who they play? Yeah,
Little Rock. Little Rock.
I
Yes.
thought that was pretty amusing. They put in like a lot of money and I think into the base center for updates to do this whole thing. You think they could at least replace the scoreboard in Hartzell to have, you could change the names on it.
Well, they had video boards, and those were nice. Those were huge. Like, it took up half the wall. I mean, the the gymnasium was tiny. 12 rows in total, 3 sections, right?
Yeah.
No seat numbers, by the way. You just sit wherever you want. It didn't matter. And I thought, man, this has got to be awkward for the 2 seeds with their fans coming to these games, where you don't really have a seat. You just have wherever you lay claim to first. And then when people leave and come and go, you lose said seat. Yeah. Because, again, there's no seating. Yeah. It was tiny. That's all I can say.
Do you think anybody that ever would play at Hartzell Arena would ever come up to the sports arena and be like, man, this is nice? This is nice.
The sports arena is way better than that arena. I thought it was crazy they didn't have another venue to play at.
Oh, it is Pensacola, Florida.
I know.
I mean, if you figure, if New Orleans is supposedly a destination city and the best they can come up with is Lakefront Arena, then what do you expect out of Pensacola? You get the Bay Center, which apparently was great. Your backup stadium is going to be, it's not going to be, up to par to everything else. So as long as we continue being 1 seeds, it doesn't matter what happens, right?
You're lucky you get to stay away from the other place. The problem with our team bar, it was like a food courtish Airstream place outdoors, is that our games were late. So either you had to go drink there earlier and then go to the game, because we got there after the first game on Saturday and they were closing in like 10, 15 minutes. And the bar at the end of it was like, we're closing.
Did you? Yeah, so maybe the assignment of the bars gets kind of changed up by what time games are being played, or I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect Plain Brewery, by the way, was excellent.
Yeah, so actually, you mentioned about a brewery over there. You said you enjoyed that quite a bit. So yeah, so it sounds like a lot of cool stuff to go to down there.
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, you leave the arena, you walk, I don't even know, 0.3 miles, and you're at bars and breweries, and you can hop around, you can get food. You just, it was easy.
Well, I'm sold. That's where I want to play. That's where I want to play these whole things. So,
that's it. We're moved to Pensacola.
Moving it. It's done. It's done.
For 4 more years at least, right?
It's done.
I think it's a 5-year deal, is what someone said.
Really?
Yeah.
I think it's I think it's a 5-year.
I thought it was super temporary. Cool. That's awesome.
No. I think maybe we don't know what the format's going to be, but down there for 5 years, which is good. So and also I wanted to do, because this was part of my whole segment, was you did a great job on the tweets. They're hilarious. They're fun. You could definitely tell. You can measure your drunkenness as the day goes on by the tweets. It's kind of like, I'm going to do a little picture of this, a little picture of that. And then a really, really hilarious, like, drunken comment. And then it's kind of like, now I'm posting everything that comes to my mind, which is the thing that I do. It's the same thing that I do. I loved it.
It's fun.
The best one by far was when Ben said we were up really big, and your little gif of the stop it.
I was like, dude, no, you just talked it in the freaking universe. Don't do that.
I still think Charlie Cobb. I still think Charlie Cobb was the best one.
Oh yeah, I may have received a direct message via text from somebody on the university on that one. So
whatever, it's funny.
It was just to be like lonely, dude, sitting by himself.
It was like, oh, if I was athletic director of App State still, I'd be winning this game.
I mean, Becker was sitting by himself too, like a couple seats down in another.
It's COVID
section.
time, man. That's the jam. You sit by yourself.
They're being smart. All right, yeah. Well, we've already gone 45 minutes on this whole thing. Women's team, unfortunately, one and done. You were there for that one, Tim.
It was fun, man.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
Aside from the venue, it was fun. I like how physical women's basketball is with no fouls. Like, they just bash each other, and they're just like, no, it's fine.
So it's what I like about basketball. But
I was gonna say, I feel like that's something that Ryan would say he likes about basketball.
Maybe I should just start watching women's basketball. It sounds great.
Watch the game. I put the game on TV. It was on ESPN Plus, like all the other games. So actually, I had it on for quite a bit. I didn't get to. Life gets in the way. I wasn't able to finish the game, but yeah,
go back and watch it.
I think there was a bit of a dig on the women's basketball team because they're notoriously going one and done in the tournament. I still think like what Gene Hill has done in his second year here. I think we're turning the corner here with this team as well. I think that we're going to be really good next year. I think he's getting this team better. Admittedly have not paid a lot of attention to it, but from what I have seen about the recruits and the progress the past 2 seasons, I think that Gene Hill is doing a great job down there. And yeah, so next year when I go to Pensacola for the tournament,
wait, who?
I'm watching a couple of teams win.
Who?
Yeah, there you go, Ryan.
You'll get to experience Hartzell Arena.
Yeah, well, not necessarily. Not if they're a 1 seed. So
true.
Yeah. Real quick. Football spring practice started today. Not a lot to say about that, but I did make our free ship code for our merch site is going to be spring because spring practice started. I'm looking forward to football.
Foosball. All right.
April 19th for the spring game, right?
What was that, Tim?
Was it April 19th for the spring game?
April 16th.
16th,
yeah, so, they start for spring practice today. 3 practices, spring break next week. Then they've got 4 more weeks of practice that culminates in the Friday, April 16th spring game. Which I love going to the spring game. It's great, but I feel like it's such a little tease. It's a little tease. Because you go and you see your football team play, you're inside of your football stadium, and then 145 days later, the team finally takes the field to play the first game. It's like it feels so good, but yeah, I think part of the spring game, like the appeal though, is like that you can get a little tailgating in, a little socialization after the winter months and everything. Weather's gotten a little bit better, so I'm looking forward to spring game. How about you guys?
Yeah, man. I'm always excited about the spring game.
Yeah.
I don't pay attention to anything happening on the field. I really just love hanging out with you guys in this nice weather at the stadium. No, man. I mean, we crack jokes about that, man. But the friends that I have, the friendships that have been created out of like our fandom for Georgia State have been awesome, and it's always good. Spring is always good because it's been like months because we don't really like each other than Georgia State sports.
Exactly. So speaking of the sports, I was talking about baseball. Yeah, they beat Tech last week. They struggled in a series against Tennessee. Didn't do much, but they play Florida. Oh man, I didn't look up the Florida thing. I don't know how they did in that game. We'll talk about it next week. Then we play Kentucky this weekend. A 3-game series. Kentucky's played absolutely no one of note. They're 7-2, but they lost 2 games against Ball State last week. So they're not that great. Maybe we can pick up some wins against Kentucky. We're not home with baseball until March 23rd against Mercer. But we have a 2-game series at home against Kennesaw State that weekend. I think we should try to get a tailgate. We should do up a baseball tailgate on March 27th. March 27th, a Saturday, a 2 p.m. game. Let's go down there. Let's tailgate it up like a football game and go in and watch the Panthers beat up on the Owls. You guys in?
Owls.
What a weird mascot.
Who do you
man?
Yeah.
I think that sounds like fun. Are we gonna maybe create a Facebook event or something?
Oh yeah. We'll do it up. But we're gonna create a big thing.
All right. You gonna buy a banner?
What's that?
Buy a banner?
I already got a banner. I got a banner for the state of Atlanta. So.
You got a state of Atlanta banner? Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, it is.
It's there. Yeah.
So
we hang it up on the in the outfield.
March 27th, 2 p.m. down at the baseball complex, and it'll be fun. Get everybody together. Weather, I'm sure, will be nice. So, unless we get that one random.
Always is in March.
Yeah, that random week in March where it's like 70 degrees on a Thursday and like a snowstorm on Saturday
with tornadoes.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I talked about beach volleyball. They've got a tournament being played tomorrow, Wednesday, at here in Atlanta, and I think I'm going to take. There's a 4:00 game, 4:00 game against Mercer. I think I'm going to take my daughter down there
Wednesday
and go watch some beach volleyball.
All right.
Yeah. So hopefully they'll do well. Softball keeps trucking along. Men's tennis is on a destiny of being 500 all season. They played 2 matches since we last talked. They won 1, they lost 1, so they keep that alive. I feel bad for the women's tennis team. They've got to head down to Statesboro to face the Trash Down South this weekend. So, ladies, please be careful. That's not a place where any lady should be. So be careful. We're looking out for you there. And then men's golf had a tournament. Men's golf, we gotta get something better with the guy. Hey, middle of the road at this Western Carolina tournament. So whatever.
I don't know what you just said.
Yeah, either do I. It's one of those points.
Men's golf is doing something somewhere.
You were like, men's golf, they gotta get better or something, and you said middle of the road. You just like sort of strung together some
more.
words.
Trying to calm it down and not talk as much, but yes, they tied for 5th, they tied for 7th, and then 9th out of 16 over 3 days in Western Carolina. So I'm just saying, like, come on, guys, like,
pick it up.
Stop hitting the ball as much. Hit the ball less times.
Yeah. Fewer.
That's how golf works.
Wait, you might be right. Less. Okay, never mind. We shouldn't do that on this.
Exactly. But that's all I got for this week. What do you guys got?
I had basketball, man. I don't know. Do we want to talk about helmet rankings? What are we doing?
No,
yeah, I saved that for last call.
Okay.
I did see a comment from Ryan Reed about the fans that had the body paint on.
Oh yeah,
they use their crap more than other fans know. Actually, they were really cool.
Oh, really?
I went and talked to them. Hell yeah.
Were they were painted up like Georgia State? They were in blue. They were Smurfs.
No,
this was
the other team.
Oh no, not that one. I saw his whole thing.
That's what he said. That was the one. You did the right one.
Oh, it was the right one. All right.
Yeah.
No, they were students. They came down for the game. They sat them in a corner, of course. They had body paint on, and I was like, "You guys are awesome. You came down here to like cheer on your team."
Wait, what team?
And I think it was Arc State, right?
Oh, okay.
It's definitely Arc State. And they said they would cheer for us, but they were staying at the beach. They were going to go to the beach and get drunk. Let's be honest.
I mean, that's what I would do.
I don't see a problem. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they're like, "Oh yeah, we're coming back. We have tickets for every game." I'm like, "No, you're not." But it was great to see students there. I don't know. The main thing that was missing, and I don't know why they couldn't figure out how to make it happen, because college football kind of made it happen. No bands was really weird.
Oh yeah, and our basketball band is fantastic.
It's so good.
Yeah.
So it was really just whatever the arena wanted to do. Like they didn't, they could have gotten probably, every team's fight song and played that as they came. No, it was none of that. I think, it'll be different next year when the bands are back.
Right.
But they had enough space where they could have probably given each like behind the basket area to each team and had the band spaced out, just like they were in other stadiums for football in an outdoor space environment. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe the science says no.
All right, you guys carry the conversation for a minute.
What? During the episode, we're carrying the conversation for a minute.
All right. What's going on right now?
There were a few things I wanted to comment on. One of them is, and I can't control this, Prue mentioned that we should do the tailgate from the car because you can watch from your car. You cannot drink in your car, Prue. That's illegal. I don't know what I'm talking about.
What are we watching from our car?
Yeah, it was the baseball tailgate.
game.
It was the baseball tailgate. We're back to it. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Got it. Can we just
drink?
drink
you can't tailgate in your car because you can't drink inside your car, man. That's like super illegal in Georgia, at least. And then the other thing I wanted to say was about going to the beach and drinking, and like digging a pit and just like pouring ice into it and making a beach cooler is a lot of fun. That's all I got.
You might not need to do that. It was pretty chilly down there. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
that was the other
in the
thing.
water. I'm kind of scared of the ocean anyway. They're like jellyfish, man. I'm not into jellyfish.
They're not fun when they sting you. I know that.
David,
much.
we're losing it without you, man.
I'm not surprised. Well, the viewership actually went up while I was gone. So either, either you guys
We're
are
talking
doing a
about
really good
important things
job
like
or
drinking on the
both hate
beach.
me. I'm not sure which one it is. Hey, look, your sister chimed in there, Tim. You did a good job there.
Hey, well said, Tim.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for listening. This is what you guys get. I was perfectly timed to get right out of here, Tim. And then you started talking about the body paint people, and I was like, nope, I'm not going to last. I had to go.
That's not on my agenda.
I like how you just like came back to say bye. Like you couldn't have said bye.
No, well, you guys were. Well, Tim was like in his diatribe about the painted people going to the beach. I didn't want to kill it off.
They were awesome, man.
It's good. It's good. Yeah, we need more fans like that. We need more fans like that on our side.
I think he was done talking about that.
Yeah, we're done.
Yeah, well, I was.
Huh?
Not,
you were done too.
I was also ready to be done. So, yes. Thanks everybody for listening. Thanks for those that have been watching. It's been a good time. We're gonna head over and do our last call where we drink a little bit more. We talk a little bit more candidly about everything. I think that Tim has got a great story about some Lafayette fans that he wants to share with us, and
I'm going to talk about our best helmet ever.
Yes, exactly, and why it's not as good as the Buffalo helmet apparently,
but that it is marginally better than other teams' helmets. That
there's some trash down south whose helmets nowhere near as good as ours. Yeah. So last call. It's available on our Patreon page, patreon.com/State of Atlanta. Free to everyone, but available early for our Patreon members. And thanks to Tim's swift tweeting out there, we gained a few more Patreon members on the weekend. If you decide to join, it's $3 a month. You get access to our private group chat where the three of us, along with all of the Patreon members, chat around, and 20% off all our merchandise, all kinds of stuff. You get all kinds of crap. Whatever I can give you, I give to the Patreon members. So it's all good. Thanks everybody for watching. Thanks everybody for listening, and we'll talk to you next week.
Bye, y'all.
Peace.